Look, every single goal achievement expert tells you to set SMART goals. Specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, timely. But here's the thing, goal setting really doesn't work that well when it comes to losing weight. So in today's video, I want to share with you really why goal setting doesn't work that well when it comes time to losing weight, and really what you should be doing instead. What's up guys, it is Alex Hine over at modernhealthmonk.com, and the first reason why SMART goals don't work is because a beginner can't possibly know the time it takes to achieve a goal. So when I wanted to gain 30, 40, 50 pounds, I'm like in my mid 170s, 170 pounds, I'm 6'2 or 6'3, I was naturally 130 pounds. So basically, it doesn't matter what kind of body transformation you're trying to go through. The point is that it took me 10 years to gain 30, 35 pounds of healthy weight because I didn't know what I was doing. So imagine, I'm saying, okay, specific, I want to gain 30 pounds. Realistic, timely, okay, why don't I do that in 2 years, right? It sounds realistic, doesn't sound like that's too far-fetched. So I set the goal, but guess what? 6 months would go by and I'd gain 2 pounds, for example, or I'd gain 5 pounds, even though I was in the gym 5 days a week. Why wasn't I getting the results I wanted? Well, the reason I wasn't getting the results I wanted was because of the fact that I didn't know what I should really be doing. If you don't know what to actually do, how are you supposed to achieve the goal? So the first flaw of this kind of SMART approach to goal setting is that a beginner cannot possibly say, okay, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds in the next 30 days. It doesn't work because that only works, number one, if you know exactly what you should do, which most beginners don't. Two, that usually comes from experience or guidance. But the other thing is that weight loss, yes, it is about calories, but it's not a pretty mathematical model. It is not just as simple as eating less and moving more and predicting to the calorie how little to eat in regard to how much weight you're gonna lose. It just doesn't work like that. There's no scientist that can consistently tell you, reduce by this much, you'll lose 1 to 2 pounds per week, predictably, for this long. Every study where they've tried that, it doesn't work out that pretty. Now, the second reason is really honing in on that timeline. You know that old picture that I've showed before where success, what you think it looks like the straight line, and what it really looks like, it's like the seizure on the piece of paper. This applies to almost everything. It doesn't matter if you want to improve your relationship, or your marriage, or you want to lose weight, or you want to build a business, do something you're passionate about so you can quit your job. It's all the same thing. If you don't know what to do to improve your relationship, well, how are you going to be like, well, I want to have a great, happy relationship in the next 20 days. How does that even work? What do I change? What do I keep the same? What do I do today? What are my habits going to be? If you don't know these kinds of things, it doesn't matter how specific, how measurable, how realistic the goal is, because you can't predict that timeline. And when you say, okay, I'm going to lose 20 pounds in 30 days, all it does is produce frustration, depression, anxiety, like, oh, I'm not getting there fast enough. It produces this constant anxiety in your stomach because you're not getting the results you want. And that's because you think you can control it, when in reality, you can't always control the timeline. You can almost always get to virtually any goal and a health goal, but you may not be able to do it in the time that you think. Just like with the marriage, just like with losing weight, just like with, let's say you want to take a crafts business and build it up so you can quit your day job. Well, as a beginner, you can't be like, well, in the next 6 months, my affirmations are, I'm gonna build it to 500 a month in the next 6 months, and then I can reduce my hours to half. As a beginner, how can you possibly control that? You can't control market conditions. You can't control what's going on in your industry. You can only control you, right? But as a beginner, there's a lot of information, there's this big gap that you are missing that you need to have if you're going to be able to reach this goal in a certain allotted period of time. Now, the third thing here is that the road is really never straight. I mean, listen, achieving any goal would be easy if all you had to do was work hard. It would be easy. But the reality is it's not that easy, and it's not because it's hard to get to. It's because the path is not straight. Look, working twice as hard only works when the goal is a straight path. When I say, okay, John, I want you to run from here to over there. If you run twice as fast, you're going to get there twice as quickly. Doesn't work for many of the other goals we've been talking about. Look at this picture of how the average dieter goes. Get some results, you keep going, you try a new plan, and then when things get tough, you're like, yeah, screw this, like this is a little bit tough, blah, 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 it's not working. And then you do a new one. And then you repeat the same cycle. Do the plan, you get a little bit of results, things get frustrating or they stall, and then you either say screw it or you keep going. In the long run, the way to predict whether or not you're succeeding is really whether or not you commit to these things. But you can only commit to things long term in your head if there are no speed bumps. How does this factor in a busy life? How does it factor in depression, low thyroid, other medical conditions, genetic conditions? Where do all these pieces come in? Lack of sleep, having a crazy stressful job, having 5 kids. These pieces are all those speed bumps, not roadblocks, but speed bumps in that path, in that video, the squiggles that we talked about. All of these will mess up that SMART goal setting. So what do you do instead? You set process goals. So your tiny habit for today is to set a process goal for your weight loss goals. Here's what I mean. My book is called Master the Day because I wanted to try to come up with a philosophy to help myself reach my goals and my clients reach their weight loss and their health goals without the frustration, the guilt, the self-hatred, the perfectionism associated with traditional goal setting. And the way I did that was instead of saying, okay, 30 pounds over there, I'm gonna lose it. Instead, what do I have to do today to make today perfect? Like if I do the right habits today, I know that I'm actually gonna get there one day. And the best part, I'm not gonna be beating myself up, punching myself in the face emotionally every day because I haven't reached the goal. That's the entire point. So the way you do that is by setting process goals, AKA daily habits. And you track the daily habits instead of the end goal. So the daily habit, the system could be, I'm gonna eat right based on this plan that I set forth here, and I'm gonna walk 10 minutes every day. All you do is you have daily goals, not these endpoint goals. And when you begin tracking those daily goals, all the negative aspects of goal setting go away and all the positive ones only get stronger. So I want to hear from you in the comment section below. What are some of your process, some of your Master the Day goals going to be? Tell me below. Hey guys, it's Alex. Did you like this video? If so, there are 3 ways you can really stay in touch with me. The first thing is obviously to click the subscribe button right there. Every single day I'm releasing a brand new Tiny Habit video to help you lose weight, feel awesome, and live better. Second thing is you can check out my book Master the Day. Brand new, just came out, it's been topping the Amazon bestseller list, and it's been getting great feedback. It's all about the tiny success habits to help you lose your next 20 or 30 pounds and get to kind of that next level, both in your health, but also in your life. And the third thing is, come visit me over on my website, modernhealthmonk.com. Punch in your email there and I'll give you a free guide on the exact 5 daily habits to help you lose your next 20 or 30 pounds. So go do those 3 things now, and I look forward to catching you in the next video.